What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got to thinking about a video I did recently, and I was wondering, can you really get premium quality knives for under $200? We're going to dive into it today to find out. All right, guys, so I actually wanted to bring out a few models of some premium quality knives that actually run over that $200 price point. And it got me to thinking, can you really pick up a premium folder for under that $200 price point? Even today, we have models from We that exceed that $199 threshold, which is really quite tough to swallow for a lot of people. Like on the table today, you can see I have the Vero Engineering Nova on the table. That one's certainly coming in over. Even Quiet Carry, who is not made out of China. They are actually made in Taiwan, have very good quality knives, but again, cannot find them generally, not on sale at least, not unless they're on sale at least, under that $200 price point. This one here is the Urban Grip, this one coming from Fairmonster, and these are all extremely well done, very good heat treats, phenomenal build quality. Even the Wii models that you're finding today that are coming in at over that $200 price point, they're very well done, extremely attractive designs, and build quality is phenomenal on all of these. But it really got me to thinking, can you do it? Let's take a look at a few that definitely check all the boxes. All right, so first I'm going to bring out an honorable mention. The reason that this one is an honorable mention is because while it does have all titanium hardware and scales with a nested liner lock and a reversible pocket clip, which is all desirable, this supercell only has 14C28N. So for this particular argument, I'm not looking at something that is closer to the $100 price point, which this falls under, that has a budget steel, but all other materials are what I would quote unquote call premium. This one, just an honorable mention, you can clearly get for around $100 something well done, excellent build quality, fantastic action, and just really nice ergonomically for around that price point. But that's not what we're trying to look at here today. So just an honorable mention. Definitely love the Kubby Supercell, and throw some S90V on here and it is in the conversation. All right, so our first candidate that I want to talk about today, and you can insert your favorite model from concept here. You might like the Tarkin, you might like the Hinterland a little bit better, but we have the Havorn out here giving very Shiro-esque vibes. I actually think this is a little bit more attractive than some of the Shiro models that are out there. I really do like them a lot. They're giving you titanium scales with a titanium 50% length back spacer, titanium pocket clip, and all titanium hardware. I think even pivot is steel, but the fastener screws, I believe, are titanium, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because that's just going to make it a little bit less susceptible to being stripped because it is the steel. You get S35VN, and even on the Tarkin, they're doing 20CV, and S35VN is still a very good steel. S45VN is on par with Magnet Cut as far as edge retention is concerned, and S30, S35VN, S45VN specifically designed for pocket knives, for folding knives. I really do like this. Great detent, multiple means of deployment, good carry weight, good ergos, fantastic pocket clip. Concept does an excellent job on their pocket clips. I like it a lot. It comes with a static wash blade, minimal branding, and all for under $200. I think that is a fantastic price point. You do have a little bit of a different setup behind the pivot here. You got race washers, which are what the bearings fall in. They don't really ride in them. They're kind of pocketed, so you can get a little bit tighter in the pivot, and not encounter any sort of looseness or play, and I think that's a really good thing. They come with great edges and great cutting geometry, so these are going to be very, very slicey. I like that a lot about these. So the first one on the board is going to be Concept. I picked the Havorn because I just right now really like this particular one, but very, very good options from Concept. Definitely check the link below if you're interested in that, but excellent premium quality knife for under 200 without a doubt. So since we had Kubby out here earlier, I thought I would bring out the Kubby Momentum. This one here is M390 with all titanium hardware. You have knurling, micro knurling with flame anode, but you can get it plain Jane or you can get it anodized scales. Internal relief cut, fantastic pocket clip on this one, milled for weight relief internally. You have a quarter length back spacer with a lanyard post here. Jimping, very thin, slicey knife, very well done blade, good factory edge. This one here riding on stamped bearings from the factory. My particular version, I did upgrade to the skiffs, and I just really like this. Nice EDC. If you got the plain Jane one, I think it could even flex into a larger gents carry without being too bad. So, you know, it's a little bit bigger than a bug out size knife, which I think is a good gent size carry, but this is going to be a great all-arounder, really good detent. I did tune mine up a little bit. I like just a little bit more of a snappier detent, but it came tuned very well for both the front flipper and thumb studs. Very comfortable ergonomics, and again, all under $200. Fantastic value. Let's check out the next one. All right, the next one is going to come with a little bit of an asterisk, and that is because Arcform unfortunately is folding. They are closing up shop. But I had to mention this one because I think it was originally slightly over 200, and now that they're closing out, this one here coming in under 200 with, which I think is fantastic because it is a Rayat built knife. You're getting M390, a very slicey blade with a modified sheep's foot. You can get it in all titanium, or you can get it with the fat carbon onlay here, which I think is a nice, or not a onlay, sorry, that's a scale, fat carbon scale on the show side is what I was trying to say. Very clean non-show side. You just have the one bolt because it is Chicago screws. You have a 50-50 backspacer that is crowned, internal relief cut here, very comfortable ergonomically, very good access to the lock bar, very smooth, almost a guillotine, a little bit of a shaker. Thumb studs, even though I don't normally really go for these type of thumb studs, this one here is positioned nicely and works really well. It does get in the blade path slightly, but I haven't really found that this has caused any issues for me. So I do like these studs on this one, and very nice jimping. Even goes into the back of the scales a little bit here, which I like that. So if you have smaller hands and you fall back here and you're a little bit on here, you get some extra jimping back here. And if you have larger hands like me, that jimping will take you all the way out. The M390 on this seems to be done very well. I have enjoyed the performance of the Arcform Theory, and I just think it's a very attractive design, very good looking design. Definitely feels more like a worker. So again, this one will probably be more honorable mention, even though they're still in stock. But what will happen is with them closing, they will run out of stock and these won't be readily available. All right, next up on the list is going to be the premium CJRB Echo. I like the Echo, but you could put the Alt Pyrite here as well. They do make a premium version of that one. You're going to get a very thin S90V blade with a very good utility blade shape. You're going to get titanium handles with a button lock. You're going to get a titanium pocket clip, but where CJRB is able to afford to keep these under $200 is you're getting all steel hardware, which is fine. I'm good with steel hardware because I do feel like they're less susceptible to being stripped. You have steel barrels as well for this hardware to screw into, and then you have titanium clips here that are going screws that are going into the titanium scales. So again, that's how they're able to help keep the affordability down on that one. But this one has served me very well. I've had it for quite a while now. I really like this. This is more of that medium size, so it can main carry. It'll be good for a summertime lightweight carry knife. It's going to be a great cutter. It can flex into a gents roll here just because it's a little bit smaller, a little bit discreet. You know, you can just slow roll it open, keep from making it seem like it's fidgety, and then you know you can close this without having to swing it down. You can just undo the lock, fold it close, you know, if you wanted it to be more discreet. Excellent ergos here. You do have a barrel that's kind of hidden here for a lanyard if you do like that. You got some jimping on the back of the spine here. This one I have found the S90V seems to be done very, very well, and the semi-polished blade has held up nicely too. I think it's a very nice aesthetic. And I just really like the build quality for what you're getting from CJRB for the money. And they've really recently started to bring on more and more models that have this S90V, which can be treated very well in production and hold a fantastic edge. It's one of the things that I do like about S90V and how I have learned over the last couple of years that they can do a very good heat treat on this, keep it from being chippy, easy to manage and maintain and maintenance, but also being a phenomenal performer with holding a really good edge for a long period of time. Very fidgety as well, this one. All right, let's check out the next one. The next one is going to be the Kaiser Milano. I absolutely love the Milano. I think it might be my favorite version from Kaiser. Definitely has a very good EDC shape. Now, you can get these for under $200 very easily. You can get it with the polished DLC coated S45 yen. You can get it with S35 yen. These limited versions here that you see in front of you, this one is coming with M390. So you have multiple steel options on the Milano line. You also have a lot of variety as far as the finishes on here. You can get it coated, uncoated. You can get fat carbon inlays, micarta inlays, and they recently this year released budget versions of these. So if you like this style, but you have a more limited budget, they have them with 154 cm and or Nitro V, and you can do G10 with different inlays. So very, very affordable options out there, but even so, extremely good build quality, very good heat treat coming from Kaiser these days. Excellent tune on the detent, and the action's just very nice. And again, I think the Milano is a very attractive folder, and again, coming in at under $200. Very impressive for that money. Let's check out the next one. All right, so the next one here is going to be one from Devo, and Devo has done a fantastic job last year bringing a bunch of premium options that are very interesting and, you know, very different finishes on them for under $200. You're getting S90V with a hollow ground blade, so this is the first hollow grind that we are seeing here today. You're getting fat carbon scales with a titanium backstrap on this one. This is the Fireball. I don't think I mentioned that. You're getting all titanium hardware with a titanium pocket clip, titanium pivot collars, and you're getting a steel inset liner lock so that for those lefties out there, you can definitely use this one left-handed. Now, this one's a little bit different because if you are a true lefty, because a lot of righties buy the Devo Boys Designs lefty pocket knives, you know, being a righty, they did offer a backstrap that had the mount for that pocket clip for the lefties. You just had to let them know, and they offered that, I think, at no additional cost to those that were truly lefties out there. But just always tuned very well. I think they've done a lot to help Kubby, who manufactured this one, come a long ways with the fit and finish. Just very glassy, very minimal feedback in the pivot, very well tuned, shakes close, very comfortable ergonomics. They got the jimping dialed perfectly on these, and just a great utility blade shape. And if you aren't into the more vibrant fat carbons and camo carbons, they usually offer like a black dune or something a little bit more subdued for those out there. And even towards the end of 2024, early 2025, they are offering plain Jane titanium options. I know that some folks don't like the camo carbon and fat carbons like me. I do, but they offer options for those of you out there who do not. But all of them sell well, and there's good reason for that. Don't know if the Fireball is coming back. I know that this is a collab design with Stasa 23. If you're not familiar with Nick, very, very good, cool peeps. Very good channel too. but I imagine that they're going to do another run because these sold out like hotcakes. All right, let's get to the last knife. All right, the last one, surprise, surprise, going to be a Devo knife. This one here is the Tallboy. This is their first 3.5-inch blade folder. I'm so glad to see them do a large size knife. As you can see, this fits perfectly for me. I would like to see a knife that has a little bit more height to it. For me, I like it to be a little bit more hand filling because this is more tall, more slender, but this is an excellent design. I like the fact that they did a radial pattern on here for the first time. They are bringing another batch of these back more soon than they are the Fireball. So the Tallboy is coming back with a V2. They did, I think, a couple of versions without the knurling and a couple of more versions with the knurling. My particular version does have the satin titanium on the back spacer, the pocket clip, and the pivot and pivot collars, but they come coated, uncoated, stone washed. They do a lot of combinations that I think are really, really cool. This was their first exposed liner lock or inset liner lock, and I really like that design. I think it's really neat that they did this one. They gave you a 3/4 length back spacer, opening hole with thumb studs on this one. So multiple means for the deployment so that you can kick it open with the thumb stud, which I think was smart. I really like that because you can open with the opening hole, but I really think thumb studs for the thumb flick is like the superior way to open it with the thumb, and then for reverse flick with the opening hole, very satisfying. Hollow ground blade S90V, and very good useful blade shape. You have jimping halfway through the back of the spine, jimping at the base of the spine of the blade, and both are done really well. Very, very useful, especially if you want to get into a pinch grip to do draw cuts and utility cuts. I like the knurling, but if you don't, they're going to be bringing a version with no knurling out there. Good access to the lock bar, very smooth open and close, and again, extremely well dialed and tuned. And again, under $200, I think this competes with anything that you can throw at it above that $200 price point. I think all of these do. So let's bring them all out here, and while I'm bringing them out here, you guys, let me know what you're thinking, and if you have other suggestions, throw them down in the comments, because I think someone that is looking for something that punches above that $200 price point, that has premium offering and is done well, is going to be interested in that. Definitely leave that down below. This one here is the Fireball. So again, you can get them titanium or camo carbon and fat carbon finishes, S90V, premium steel, and hollow ground. I think those are phenomenal options. The Kaiser Milano, there's a lot of premium options out there for that one as well. You have the Kubby Momentum, really like that as another option that you can find for under $200 that has extremely well done premium materials. The CJRB Echo and / Pyrite, because you can get either one and substitute either one into this conversation. These up a little bit here, running out of space. Concept is another brand that I think does a fantastic job offering value for money in that premium price point. And as I mentioned earlier, the honorable mentions are going to be the Arcforms, because you can get them, but they may be selling out and or sold out by the time you see this later. And then I am not including, even though this was an honorable mention, anything with a budget steel with premium handle material. So those weren't really included because I was looking at something that competes with things that are priced over $300. These clearly are closer to a budget knife as far as what you're going to get for steel performance, but it offers you at a very affordable price something very reasonably priced that you're going to be able to get some titanium on, which I think is really cool. Again, these are just some that I had in the collection that I thought were really interesting options that I thought folks would really like checking out, and I know that they would appreciate those of you watching commenting down below other options. I know there's things that I left on the table, and that was intentional, so you guys can chime in down below and help your fellow community member out with some options that they can check out. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thanks for checking this video out. If you enjoyed it, a like would be appreciated. If you're interested in any of these, I'll have affiliate links down below that you can use to go pick these up potentially, unless they're of course not available. Won't be able to do that. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you next time. Peace.